Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Welcome back to the lounge.
We are here, and we're doing the damn thing.
Yes, so relax, sit back.
Unless you're, like, driving or something, then maintain eye focus on the road.
Yes, concentrate. 10 and 2.
10 and 2. Don't listen to this too loud that you can't hear ambulances and stuff.
Right, but listen to it with your windows open loud enough so the people next to you are like, hey, what witty, entertaining podcast are you listening to?
Yes, kind sir, in your nice vehicle.
Yes. Do you have any...
Roll the window down and put your arm out the window while you listen to this.
Yeah.
And just keep the other hand at 12 o'clock.
Or 6.
So, 6? You like it? You like to chill and roll a 6 o'clock?
Yeah, or like a
Like
5.
A 5
About
and,
a 5.
5 and 8 or something?
5-8, 5-7, yeah.
I've always wanted one
Like
of those.
an underhand steer.
I always wanted one of those little knobs you can put on your car.
Yeah.
That always looks kind of cool to me.
That was for before power steering.
Yes.
Because you have to crank the wheels so hard. You needed that knob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always thought they were illegal, but they're not illegal.
Just the knob?
Yeah. They're not illegal. It's just like recommended you don't use it at high speeds.
Oh.
Because you kind of lose like the feel of like how much you need to turn and stuff, I think.
Right. Well, if you're going high speeds, you're not going to be cranking your wheels so much that you're going to use the knob.
No, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy, Dave.
You would always use the knob?
Yeah, always use the knob. Gotta get turned 360 degrees on the highway.
Yeah. What if the new Tesla comes out and it's just like an Xbox controller?
Oh my God. That would blow my mind. I rode in a fancy car. Did I tell you about this maybe the last podcast?
Riding in fancy cars?
Yeah.
I do not think so.
I rode in like a 2022 car. I think it was maybe like a Nissan or a Honda or something.
Oh, okay.
But it had like a GPS screen in the car, and it would show your car, and you could hit a button and it would drive itself. And the guy was on the bridge and he hit the button and it like made that slight bank when you're going from my house on the bridge.
Yeah, 74.
On 74, yeah. And I was like, this is kind of freaking me out.
Weird. It wasn't a Tesla?
It wasn't a Tesla, no.
Oh. It's weird that everything's self-driving.
Yeah.
Or like automatic braking.
Yeah. Or they have those cars that can like parallel park themselves.
Yeah. They've had those for a minute, but
yeah, that's a weird thing to me though.
It is
I
kind
can't
of crazy.
do it, and I'm a human being.
Yeah, it's all about when to cut.
Yeah.
I think a car would know better if it's got a sensor, so it would know when to cut to pull in there. Because I'm not good at that.
You been out and about, Dave? You do anything?
I feel like no.
Watch any movies? Finish your list or what?
I'm pretty close to finishing the list. I mean, I have like a week and a half.
Yeah.
But I watch some like review shows and like get
worst case
ideas.
scenario, you just drop a couple of 3 on there or something.
Yeah, and sometimes it also depends on like I can make the list, but then if I can't find it or like you know, I gotta substitute.
Oh, substitutions are allowed.
Yes, as long as you get one movie, you know,
for every day. Not necessarily one movie every day.
No,
just
I watch
31 movies within the month.
Well, I watch one every day.
Oh,
because even if it's like a Saturday, I don't know, date nights, but then usually you come home and put something on anyway.
Yeah.
Still put that horror movie on.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of you. Do you fall asleep to movies?
No, not really.
So when you put something in, you're watching it for sure.
I usually watch it, yeah.
I can't fall asleep to movies, but my wife's always like, let's watch something so I can fall asleep.
Yeah.
But you better believe I make sure it's something I like, because I know her ass is just going to fall asleep.
Exactly. But I can fall asleep, because I think we were watching The Handmaid's Tale last night.
Is that good?
It's weird and is very like, yeah, it's...
Very, yeah.
Well, it's pro-girl, but yet... but like the story is just super fucked up is what it is.
Okay.
Because I guess like only certain people are fertile And so then they pretty much get pimped out to rich people so they can have kids.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Are they the handmaids?
Yeah.
Oh, no spoiler. Spoiler alert, everybody, just in case.
Oh, well, that's
within the
that's like
underlining of the movie.
The first episode, you're going to be like, oh, yeah. But then I guess it gets different from there. I have no idea. It seems interesting, and my old lady got sucked into it real quick. But I don't want to say it was too much girl power, but it's like a soap opera. It's not like, oh, we're gonna fight and then there's a dragon and then this guy's gonna kick you in the head, or there's a serial killer stabbing people. Like, if it's, I can do drama sometimes, but it's really got to be good. Or like something I would be interested in. Because I mean, like Goodfellas, there's not action all the time, but it's interesting, and it keeps you interested. Your interest.
It compels you.
Yes.
So I think I shouted out Reservation Dogs.
Yeah, you did that last time.
Yeah, and the Daredevil Brian, who told me to watch that, told me to watch This Fool.
This Fool?
Yeah, it's a Southern LA Latin sitcom.
Okay.
So like, it's mainly about one guy, and he works at a criminal reform company, and it's got who's the guy from The Sopranos? Is the main guy from The Sopranos has like a nephew?
Yeah,
that guy is in it. The nephew, I think.
Okay.
And the show is super funny, and so they like have all these like very stereotypical cholo looking gang members,
right?
Like top buttoned, mustache, tattoos on their face and stuff.
Yeah. And
they're like trying to learn how to like learn Microsoft Word and stuff like that, and they bake cupcakes to raise money and stuff.
Yeah.
Shit. It's a pretty good show.
All right, so it's a sitcom though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know the difference between like a sitcom and.
Well, sitcom is like King of Queens or Mike and Mandy or whatever that King of Queens ripoff is.
I mean, it doesn't have a laugh track.
Home Improvement.
Would a laugh track be required for a sitcom?
I mean, like, would you consider like The Office a sitcom?
I would consider,
or like
The
Always
Office a sitcom.
Sunny in Philadelphia.
I would consider those sitcoms.
I mean,
would you?
Sitcom to me is like
situational comedy.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like Full House and like those like where it's this Roseanne, where it's one set, there may be two sets. You know, like there's a kitchen, there's a living room, and then maybe there's like the workplace.
The workplace, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a set. They're not like on location.
This is like higher production value stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like generally on location at places.
But it's like a comedy, kind of like a Office kind of thing.
Kind of, I think. Not like with a documentary type situation.
Well, yeah, but I mean like.
But yeah, it's funny. Like they go to the store to get something, and they see their cupcakes aren't selling, and so like a bunch of these big ex-cons are like trying to pressure people into buying their cupcakes.
Yeah. And
that's a situation that I found funny.
Yeah.
Comedious.
Comedious. Yes. I do want to see the movie Pearl. Because I guess that movie X I talked about.
Yeah.
It's like a trilogy.
Oh.
And right after they got done filming the first one, they made a prequel.
Oh.
But it's supposed to be shot in more of like a 40s, 50s style-ish.
Is it about like the old people whose farm it was on or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
About the old lady, but as a young
Would you recommend
girl.
watching X?
Yeah, if you're not weirded out by stuff.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I don't want to give a lot away, but...
Some sort of content warning.
Right, because they do go there to film an exploitation porno on a farm, so there's going to be lots of, like...
bloody sex scenes.
Yeah.
A real 70s throwback type
right,
thing.
or, like, free love, people, you know.
I after this podcast, I think me and the wife are going to go try to see Clerks 3.
Is that still in the theaters?
I believe so. I've not heard good things.
I've heard about what you would hear for a Kevin Smith film.
Okay.
Where it's like the writing's good, some of the line delivery is wonky, some of the jokes don't hit, but then some of it's fucking hilarious and great and like worthwhile.
Yeah. The guy that I heard it from used to work for Kevin Smith.
Really?
Or like maybe worked for a second party that worked for Kevin Smith. He did like podcast editing, I think, for Smodcast.
Yeah.
And he would go sell merch at some of his shows and appearances and stuff.
So the guy that sings a song. You want a podcast? This is a Smodcast.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
But he gave it a pretty bad review. But I mean, I'll go see it either way.
Yeah, I'll still go see it. I mean, it closes out the Clerks trilogy.
Yeah.
And
they'll destroy the ring finally.
Yeah, exactly. I've only heard good things.
You watched Reboot, right?
Yeah.
I liked it, but of course it's ever going to be as good as Strike Back.
Yeah, well, Strike Back to me was not my favorite one.
You're a piece of shit.
It's Mallrats, man.
I love Mallrats for sure, but I live my life by Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, but I don't know. Mallrats has the best. Well, it's a toss-up between Dogma and Mallrats as the best introduction for Jay and Silent Bob.
Okay, I can see that.
Because in the one, he's like, and he's
yeah,
like the glass with the cats, kitty, 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 and then he just starts dancing.
And he does the Wolverine special weapon thing. God.
But then in Dogma, just out of nowhere, they come snooch to the nooch and beat the crap out of those demon kids.
Those hockey demon kids?
Yeah, that's a pretty good intro,
that's a good one too.
So,
two of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Man, I've had this hole in my sock all dang day, Dave.
Yeah.
So my toe is just like half sticking out of my sock. It's driving me nuts.
You're free toeing it?
Yeah, I'm free toeing it. That's, I think, all I got for my out and abouts. Iron Invasion is coming up quick. I have to work with like the general public on this. Like I have to talk to people, and it drives me so crazy.
But you're an extrovert?
I was for a long time. COVID really fucked with me.
Yeah.
Getting separated from going out all the time. And I feel like, well, and I took this personality test.
Yeah.
To find out what personality type I was. And it said I was extroverted, but I just lately have not been able to do people.
Right.
I think I'm just running so empty. I texted you the other day and I was like, Dave, I'm going to need you to really do your best on this podcast because I'm going to suck.
Yeah. No, it's, it has been the last couple of years, but I'm thinking it should be starting to pick back up.
I'm hoping.
Unless this monkeypox thing is something.
Just really takes off.
Yeah. But it's never, I don't know. I always want it to be worse, and I know that's a crappy thing to say.
Yeah, I always want it to be worse.
Anytime something happens, I'm like, oh, where the fuck are the zombies? Like, no. I thought we were gonna be like fucking fighting over toilet paper and like beating each other with
for a little bit,
like tin cans and shit. But yeah, no, didn't happen.
Yeah, well, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, Dave.
Exactly right.
All right, you ready to get into this?
Sure.
I don't think I have anything else. Let me think. Oh, I ordered more stickers. I ordered new. Have I posted the Sasquatch sticker?
You put it as a comment under my little when I took a picture of Sasquatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to post it again. I ordered some Sasquatch stickers.
Awesome.
So that'll be coming soon. We can put them all over the neighborhoods.
Yeah. I think that if there is a poll and it's already got 5 stickers on it, you're allowed to put stickers on that pole.
They shouldn't have made poles so sticker shaped.
Right. Or like, what's that, Armored Gardens? Their fence is like sticker heavy.
Devin's Complaint Department.
Is that one?
Yeah. They had a sticker war.
Really?
Yeah, like Lopez put one sticker on there, and then Devin's, I think, covered it up with one of their stickers.
Yeah.
And then they were having people drive by and just throw like 35 stickers all over their fence and stuff like that.
And you said that's Devon's complaint department?
Yeah.
Because Armour Gardens,
they're like
fence
attached.
is like, it's the same area?
Yeah.
Okay.
That courtyard goes into both, but I'd say it's predominantly Devon's.
Yeah. This is when you told me that where I thought it was probably not where it was. But now I know where it is, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, who's Dale Watson? You're not into that kind of music, but there's a band Dale Watson playing tonight, actually, and he is just all sorts of truck driver music.
Truck driver?
Yeah. All of his songs are about driving truck.
Oh.
He's pretty good.
Like, we got a great big convoy.
Yeah. But if you like country music, highly suggest Dale Watson.
What kind of music is Zed?
Zed is like, I would love to say it's like rockabilly, psychobilly, but I think it's probably more like horror punk.
Huh. Because the name sounds interesting, but then also Hollywood Dave is the drummer. So.
Yeah. Well, Hollywood Dave can do anything.
I know. That's why I'm like, what kind of music is this? Because, no offense, The Last Glimpse, it was not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Is that Dave's other band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because after seeing them with the Standards and then be like, oh, hey, you got another band, I'll go check it out. And it's all like, in the arms of an angel.
Zed is more closer to like Misfits or something.
Oh, okay. Then I'll definitely have to drag the lady to see that.
Mm-hmm. You should come to Iron Invasion, man. I think you'd like it.
Well, at least a day. I'm not gonna
all day,
I'm not
every
gonna
day.
go all in.
I'll take a camper out there for you to stay in.
I just want to go and listen to Zed, and then look at cars, and then be like, "Yeah, I did it.
I did it. I did the dang thing."
Yep.
What else was I just about to say? Stickers. Got 'em.
Stickers.
I was thinking about you can get shirts, like a print on demand.
Yeah.
Is that something you'd be into? I'm like, I don't necessarily care about other people buying our shirts, but I kind of want a shirt for the Blue Ribbon Lounge.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess we got to find the right
like a logo or the right people. Or...
Yeah. I want a BRLP hat, like the little burp.
Yeah.
Justin X was over.
Yeah.
And he saw your little doodle cow.
Right.
And he was like, that's got to be a Joe Rogan art. Somebody's got that tattooed on them.
Oh, you think so?
This says JRE on it or something.
I don't know.
I started looking up, how many people do you think have Joe Rogan's face tattooed onto them?
Probably a lot.
That's a big commitment.
That is a big commitment. I was listening to some podcast and it had Shaggy Dope on it.
Is that from ICP?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was saying that it's fucking weird when, he'll be like, just like somewhere and they're like, oh, dude, hey, look. And he's like, he's like, I'll never get used to it. He's like, think about if you were like the guy at 7-Eleven and somebody who's like one of your customers comes in and is like, hey, man, check this out. And it's your face.
Your face.
Yeah. He's like, it still feels about that weird.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like,
I just imagine I go into a 7-Eleven and the guy behind the counter is like, oh, check this out.
I got this tattoo. Yeah.
Oh, God, that would be weird.
Just you with a weird hat on. Like...
am I rambling now?
No, we're good. We got laughs.
We got laughs. Okay. Well, if you guys think of anything that this sparked of your conversation, put it in the comments or on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm looking for people to start posting some good memes in there, and maybe I should be finding them. Gotta find some good like Sasquatch memes or something.
Yeah. When I come across stuff, I'll put it in there. Or if we say like, talk about sticking the microphone down the deepest hole in the world and it sounding like screams from hell. I put that on the Facebook page.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't get notifications from it for some reason.
That's weird.
Maybe that's a check mark I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta click that bell.
Bang that gong.
Subscribe.
Party on.
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
Rate.
Review.
Yes, give us a review.
Go to Abernathy, shopabernathys.com. Search for Blue Ribbon Lounge products and buy $600 worth of stickers. That would be I don't have that many stickers.
No, but you could go there and go to contact us and pick a random person and be like, we really like it when you're plugged on the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, or next time we do a review, we'll have to try to get people to give them be like, hey, we heard about you on the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Go to Abernathy's and say you heard about the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast. Heard about them to the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast. You're not going to get a deal or anything.
No,
but just do that.
Right. Put in code Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast and get nothing off.
Get 0% off.
Yeah.
I went to, I don't know why I said that. I suggest people just go to my wife's shop just as a cool joint to go in and look around.
Yeah, it is.
It's somewhere between like an antique store and a museum.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Go in there once a year. Yeah.
All right. That's all my
It's
stuff.
good atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a fun place.
All right. What are we doing today, Dave?
We are talking about animal / cattle mutilations. Or bovine excisions.
I think I'm going to put a bunch of moos in this episode.
Every time someone says bovine.
Bovine. Bovine provovine.
Yes, but it's like a phenomenon.
A phenomenon.
That I guess maybe because they don't have that much cattle.
It's interesting to think that some places like South America has like a shitload of dogs just all over the place all the time.
Yeah,
is what it kind of sounds like.
I don't know. I've never been.
And that's always kind of been interest to me.
Yeah. Yeah, these mutilations, they're usually found bloodless. Missing an ear.
An eye.
Their tongues.
Tongues cut out like real deep.
Yeah, like back in their throat.
Oh, missing their butthole.
Yeah, they get their butthole. And sometimes genitals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe it was just one picture I saw, but I feel like a little bit of skinning.
Some do have like it almost looks like they're burnt off or some skinning. So I've seen ones where the cow's just like missing like half a face.
Yeah, or like big holes in them.
Yeah,
broken ribs I've seen.
Broken ribs, broken bones.
Yeah, stuff taken out of them.
Yeah, the first one was like reported, I guess because someone was saying, well, it was actually that
that Chris guy?
Chuck Zukowski.
Oh, Chuck.
Yeah. He was saying that pre-1900s, there's some cases. But he was like Native Americans talking about finding like mutilated stuff. But I don't know.
Skinwalker shit.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's like recorded anywhere. Because the first like known one is from 1967, and that was Angus and Harry King and their horse Lady or Snippy, which is weird because it's late. You can look up lady horse mutilation.
Lady horse mutilation.
Yeah, or horse lady.
If you're into lady horses.
Yeah, but it also come up as Snippy. But it's like from like the shoulder up, it was just like just bone.
Oh,
like they came upon it and like there's a horse with a skeleton head.
Oh God.
Yeah, have you seen the pictures?
No.
Yeah, because it looks really clean and it kind of looks like, yeah, like you'd think like some kind of sci-fi laser like disintegrator kind of thing,
or like dipped in acid or something.
Oh yeah,
or like like what you're talking about, like a ray that just goes like yeah, and then when you turn it off, it's just bone.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about dipping. Like that would make sense. Are you looking up?
Yeah, I'm looking up lady horse mutilation images. Ooh, like Not that. It doesn't quite look like something like that. Lady horse. A lot of these horses are like super skinned.
It's a specific one.
Should I look up Snippy?
Yeah, try that one.
Oh, wow, that is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's the one right there. Yeah,
that is super crazy.
Yeah, it's like looking up, but it's just like, and it does look
super clean,
but like
burnt.
Yeah, burnt.
Much burnt. Like it got underneath the space shuttle or something.
Oh yeah, the alien spaceship was like, but I guess thousands of these happen, like at least 10,000 since that one.
Wow.
And I just saw that in Oregon? In Oregon, in like 2018, they had a bunch of like cattle mutilations happen.
Really? I had seen one that was like 2000 and maybe 19.
Yeah.
And it was Tom Miller. He had a ranch in Colorado. He only had about half dozen animals on his farm.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm wrong. Thomas Walker had about a half dozen animals on his farm, and 4 of them died within 2 days. And it was like a pig, 2 goats, and a horse. And then a couple of weeks later, they had like a steer that died.
Yeah. And were they all mutilated?
Well, they didn't say that. I do think... Oh, no. They didn't say that. But it was all like they weren't sick. They were all eating different food, so it couldn't have been the food.
Right.
They checked a bunch of the water and stuff. And they couldn't figure it out. But and I really only brought that up because Chuck Sikowski was brought into that one.
Oh, to do some investigation. Yeah. Because that guy, he didn't write the book, but the book was about him. It was called The 37th Parallel.
Oh, okay.
And his theory is that, like, the 37th parallel, like...
37 latitude north?
Yeah. Is like, space... An alien, a UFO highway?
Is that cat doing something?
I don't know. There's 2 of them. They're grumpy with each other.
Podcasts.
Dang
you.
Yep. But he said it's like a UFO highway because a lot of these, like, he would say underground bases and like underwater conifers or aquifers, because he was trying to like link UFOs with water.
Okay.
And then, so then they had this book written about him, and then he's become like one of the, what do you want to call that? Like a expert on it.
Okay.
But when I was doing my research and I looked up cattle mutilations, they're actually all over the country. There's not a lot in the East, but I just don't think they have a lot of cattle in the East. Like it
in the eastern part of the U.S.
Yeah, like up near New York and
I think a lot
Maine,
more
New England and shit,
like vegetable farms or whatever.
Yeah, but he's saying that like that their bones are sometimes broken. You said broken ribs.
Yeah,
and he's saying his stuff you'll usually find like an indent sometimes where it's like they were just kind of like put there.
Yeah. So going back to that 37-degree latitude.
Yeah.
Gosh dang podcasts. That kind of makes me think of the ley lines.
Yeah.
You know, everything being in a straight line. I wonder if you were to draw that in a farther distance, what kind of other things it would cover.
Oh, and instead of just doing just on the U.S.?
Yeah. Or what kind of other things are on that line as opposed to just cattle mutilations and UFO sightings.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. He didn't, what I listened to, he didn't get much into it, about it. He actually ended up talking more about his equipment.
Oh, okay.
Which was neat, but it was also like technical jargon about getting cameras and then taking the filters off and different things to help you, like if you want to try to catch a UFO or a ghost or stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm not that into it.
Right.
But he was also talking about, did you hear this thing about bovine
excision?
Bovine hemoglobin?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You want to wait to talk about that?
Oh, I mean, we can. Would you go?
Oh, so I guess bovine hemoglobin is used in vitro fertilization, which I always thought it was in vitro.
Yeah.
But I think it's just vitro fertilization.
I thought it was in vitro. Test tube babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they use bovine hemoglobin, which is like in your blood.
Yeah, it's what it's like your plasma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they use that in vitro fertilization, and they think that possibly cows are being abducted and their blood sucked out of them for alien human hybrids.
Yeah. Well, before I get deep into it,
Okay.
in the real world,
In the real world.
they've actually used bovine hemoglobin to make a blood substitute that they've actually just recently approved and has been used in patients in South America with success.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. But then to flip over to the other side, did you have anything on Linda Moulton Howe?
No.
Okay. Well, saying that name, some people might be like, but she made a movie called Strange Harvest.
Okay.
And she now, I think she's older. She's like 80.
Okay.
So I think she's kind of gone off a little bit. But
More so than she was already.
Right. But her thing was like the Greys use it with their like like they're cloning their human alien hybrid projects.
I'm like, a human alien hybrid would be for the alien to be able to survive on Earth.
Something, or maybe.
But I'm like, make a cow human hybrid so you can like farm people.
Farm people?
Yeah.
Well, it just goes back to the thing where it's like, all right, say like aliens came down and they used their DNA and spliced it with Homo or
hey, what'd you call me?
Neanderthal, and then made Homo erectus that way, and then now they're monitoring us, but now they want to use humans something. Why would for like workers or something? Maybe they're just making their own workers. Yeah, because I don't know why they'd want to, because when we did the alien episode, they were saying the Greys were making the human hybrids to be their like ambassadors to humans,
because they would look kind of like us.
Yeah,
we wouldn't be so fearful.
Yeah, they'd be the tall Greys.
Yeah.
But
I just want to paint this picture for everybody. You have your notes laid out in two sheets of paper, and it looks like some sort of serial killer list.
Well, at least I know what it says.
It's just funny to see.
Yeah. And Linda Moulton Howe also talks about aliens like beaming up cows, like the typical like
that's a thing that you see.
Yeah.
Generally art pieces or whatever.
And Chuck Sikowski also says that sometimes around the cows he's went and investigated, there'll be like a swirl kind of pattern around it. So they think it's some kind of like a dust devil, like tornado kind of beam. It's not just light and you get sucked up. It's like you get sucked up kind of in like a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
that would be interesting.
Or put down, because he says when he investigates and there's like an impact under the cow, it's like they don't bounce. It's like they were just like dunk, like set down.
Yeah.
And so he thinks like if they have this vacuum kind of system and then they just maybe turn it up a little too high and don't really slam the cow down.
Yeah.
But Linda Moulton Howe just thinks they just drop them.
Well, and I had heard a story where there was, I think, 2 cows, and they were, set exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't think you'd get that by dropping them from a high distance.
Well, this 37th parallel, he said they're always facing east and west. Like, it doesn't matter which way they're pointed, but they're east and west. Like, they're never going to be, head pointing north or south.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't see anyone else say that.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to get that from a picture. You can be standing at any angle.
Yeah, unless you have a compass when you're taking your picture.
I'm going to start taking all my pictures with compasses in them now.
But there's also... Have you seen the picture of the deflated cow? You should look that one up.
Deflated cow.
Yeah, it was one that happened in Oregon. And, they all happen within, a month. So it got a lot of attention.
Deflated cow. Is it, in this field?
It is that top left. It looks like someone,
just put a vacuum in its mouth and just sucked all the air out of it?
Sucked everything out. Yeah. Or it could have been dropped from a height and just kind of
jelly everything.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But they were also saying
this is at the Sylvie's Valley Ranch in eastern Oregon.
And the other thing with the cattle mutilation is they just know scavenger animals will touch them.
Yeah, that's what I found weird too, because I would imagine they're generally out there overnight.
Yeah.
And I would think a fox or a coyote or something would come up and if it was killed,
right,
I would think something would... I mean, if an animal dies on the road, coyotes will come up and eat it, or
birds and things.
Yeah.
But even the eyeball that's usually missing, it's always the one pointed up towards the sky. And ranchers will say it doesn't look like a bird because a bird will leave bits and
tears,
pieces coming out of the eye.
Yeah,
there'll be some kind of veins or something.
Ooh.
Yeah,
content warning.
Right. And that was the half cat thing too, and that was in Washington State, Oak Harbor. Yeah, it was on Whibley Island in Washington. It's got some weird name like that. But they were having they were just finding cats cut in half. Clean cuts and no guts.
No guts.
Yeah.
No blood everywhere.
No blood.
Gosh.
And no guts. And one lady described it as a hand puppet.
Oh.
Yeah. And of course Linda Moulton Howe was the aliens laser cut your cats in half. And I guess I heard a podcast and they said that she had a slideshow presentation, and one of the slides said alien Bigfoots are cutting our cats in half. And so, but I could never find anything from her saying that.
Keep your podcasts inside, people.
Right. She just says she says a lot more stuff than this Chuck Sikowski.
Oh, okay. A lot more wild stuff?
Yeah, because she's there's always it's they're burnt, the skin will be dry and kind of flaky.
Yeah.
It'd been microwaved.
Especially
around the incisions and stuff. But she's the only one I've heard say that. Even though that picture of Sippy looked like it was like burnt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And but then when I looked more into the cat thing, someone was saying like, yeah, if you look at the pictures or like whatever, it does look like a straight cut, but then when you actually like start doing the autopsy, it is kind of jagged. So that one could have just been like a coyote or something got loose and was eating the cats.
Licking up all the blood on the ground.
Or like you kill it somewhere, but then like, you know, like a dog does, where it's like getting its snoot in there to eat the guts, and then it pushes it, you know, a little ways down the road.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Snoot.
Snoot. Yeah. But do you have any ideas about like the cattle mutilations? Like what could be going on there?
I was thinking maybe some sort of bacteria.
Bacteria.
Yeah, that like there's a bacteria that will like eat a deer's brain.
Yeah.
And if you eat it, you get that bacteria, I think.
Right.
But I don't think it'll eat your brain. But I think it's bad to have.
But I think they get like mange or something.
Yeah. Or like bear, if you don't cook bear meat, you get these fucking worms inside your muscles or something like that. And it like itches really bad.
Yikes.
Yeah. And I mean, if I was going to venture a guess, it would be one of those two.
It's like some kind of flesh-eating disease?
That's what I would think.
I guess. I mean, because they always say it happens in a night, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right about that. And like even the deer that get the bacteria that eats their brains, they like wander around super stupid for a long time.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference.
You'll be they're like drooling and running into stuff.
Right. You're like, I don't want to shoot this deer.
Yeah. But if I was going to make a guess, that would be the most logical guess for me.
Some kind of bacteria. I don't know. Some people say that it still could be like predators. Mm-hmm. Like, but they're not like their jugular is not like open or like some. Because if like a wolf or like a coyote or something, I mean, if the cow just happened to die and then it just comes and eats its tongue.
Yeah, its
or
tongue
like
and its
just
butt.
Yeah, like when it's, you know, you go for the soft tissue, it would like open its belly up or something. Yeah. You would think.
I mean, I bet there's millions of videos on YouTube about predator animals eating other animals.
Yeah,
and I would guarantee it doesn't look anything like that.
No, or just leave that much meat.
Yeah, they all seem like they're not like it was very specifically taken.
Yeah. Well, there's a picture of one of these guys from Oregon, Dave Hunt. He found one of his cows dead, and it looked like it was just laying there because it's holding its head up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, that cow's dead, but you would think gravity would like pull its head down. Yeah. And that one seemed weird to me because it didn't even look like the cat, the typical mutilation. It was just kind of dead.
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about, I had seen some skinned like faces on cows, and the butthole missing, the rectum.
Yeah.
Rectum damn near killed him.
Well,
but if I was going to go in like a different direction, a less logical direction,
right,
which I mean, I'm not a scientist, I don't know. Aliens could be out there for sure.
Right.
I don't think they're doing this, but personally, but if you get like a clamp over their snout and then like a plunger that goes in their butt, and then you could like just hold them there and do all your harvesting.
Oh, right. Get all the blood out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they say like the blood is probably drained first because any of the incisions or like marks, they don't have
blood around them.
Yeah. So like they didn't bleed out.
Yeah.
I did hear this theory that was down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Where it's like it's a warning from aliens, but they don't know how to communicate with us, so they do it through this. But the theory is that all our nuclear bombs and stations and all that stuff is just going to slowly wreck the Earth.
Like the radiation will seep out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I can see that.
And that you can't see it, so they take an eye.
Oh.
You can't taste it, so they cut out the tongue.
Oh my gosh.
It messes up your. You can't smell it. That's why sometimes they take the snoot.
Snoot.
It fucks up your DNA, so no sex, no offspring, so no sex organs.
This is deep.
Yeah, and then but here's where it kind of falls apart.
You shit your brains out, and that's why they take the rectum.
No, it's gonna bite us in the ass, or we're fucking yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little bit.
Yeah, like a stretch to be like, yeah, your ass out of luck. But they also
That's a weird thing somebody put on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they just needed to somehow fit the
Their narrative.
rectum in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the whole thing, thinking about you can't see it, you can't taste it.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty interesting point of view.
Right. But it also goes on to say that it's also connected to crop circles, and it's kind of a way to tell us we need to clean up our mess, because if we don't, the aliens will clean it up for us by using asteroids and wormholes to throw meteors down to like take out certain sites.
Oh.
And that there's this place in Colorado that they cleaned up, and they think the reason they cleaned up that nuclear site is because that's where they have all their bases. And so they don't want an asteroid to get slammed down there, but when it hits all these other sites, they'll be safe in their bases under the Denver airport, and like what is it?
So
NORAD.
NORAD. Okay.
Yeah.
So are the crop circles like the targets?
No, it's like their way of communication. But I've also heard that crop circles are a way they're time machines. You know, like you're like, shoo, and then it makes a thing, and you're like, oh, okay, well I need to adjust this boop op here.
Adjust my boob ops.
Yeah. And then I don't know. It's also could be religious cults somehow they're saying.
Yeah, like Satanists.
Yeah.
But I would think Satanists would prefer more blood.
Well, they do.
Unless they take it.
It's like 12 pounds of blood.
12 pounds of blood? That's a lot
in
of
a
blood,
cow,
man.
yeah. Or they take it and then
40
they go do their
40
rituals.
liters?
40 liters?
So that's what I got written down.
That sounds about right. But yeah, it also seems like, though, it's kind of like going cow tipping. Like, you're going to go and drain the blood somehow without waking up the farmer.
Or the cow.
Yeah. Or having any kind of signs of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the theory of that it's done somewhere else and then they're dropped kind of makes more sense.
How many people would it take to lift a cow?
Well, it would just take one stealth helicopter.
Oh, a helicopter with a big hook on it?
Something. There was a guy who wrote a book, Greg Valdez.
Okay.
And it's called Deluxe Space. And in his study, because his dad was like a state trooper that studied these cattle mutilations, and then his son did a bunch of studies, and he said that there's actually like marks on near their hoofs, like they were clamped.
Okay.
And then some of them have signs of like harness marks.
Broken ribs.
Yeah, and then they figure they just like either like claw machine them somehow.
Yeah.
Or they just come down and harness them up and then yank them up and then go do their experiments to see if like to keep track of mad cow or to see if there is some kind of nuclear leakage, because a lot of these are near nuclear facilities where these mutilations take place. And then they just come back and drop them out of the helicopter.
Here's your cow back.
Yeah. And then they just maybe they cut off an ear or take the tongue just to like make it weird.
So that's what I was just gonna say. Like you bring it back so that the farmer doesn't think that his cow is stolen and goes looking for it.
Right.
You bring it back so he asks different questions.
Yeah. And then it's comes back weird and bloodless and without a thing. Because they actually...
And perfectly healthy.
In the 70s, a bunch of ranchers, this was happening to, and they, like, got together and, like, tried to get the FBI involved. And the FBI did do some research, or, like, checked into it, but they're like, it's not... There's no proof of a crime. Like, yeah, your cow's dead and it's weird, but there's no fingerprints, there's no tracks, they didn't steal your cow.
Yeah.
You know, it would mean it'd be trespassing and like animal cruelty, but
destruction of property.
Yeah, they don't have like anything to go on because there's like no tracks or no footprints. Some of these things were like dumped in the snow and there's no tracks around it.
Oh.
So that's
wild.
Leads me to just like logically it would be a helicopter or something that would just drop it in there.
Yeah.
Or maybe they died before, but if they're sick, so animals don't want to eat them, but then some bugs do eat certain parts of them. I mean, but it could be the government.
Government overlords making sure that you're safe, Dave. They're doing this for your protection, for your safety.
They could be draining the blood and turning it into this like synthetic blood, because maybe if you're going like Mach 7 or something, you need like it's too many G's, so your heart can't pump itself. So then you have to have an artificial pump, and they need this like
that blood into you.
Yeah, this synthetic blood to kind of like fill the tubes up to get them to your body. So just using your blood would be like, oh well, the pump's in the back, but you're up front driving, so we need this synthetic cow blood to fucking fill up the brakes, make it
And well, like the synthetic cow blood is easier to pump. It's more resilient.
Maybe, yeah.
So when you're going at those G's, it keeps your veins, stiffened up.
Yeah.
The thick cow blood.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Figured it out.
Oh.
And that's why Area 51's a secret, because they're actually working on this like fast technology. It's not necessarily the aliens. We just don't want everybody to know that we have these fucking like magnetic engines or whatever. Yeah.
That run on water.
That would be interesting. That's what that Chuck guy was saying, hydrogen vapors. And since water is just H2O, hydrogen into oxygen.
Yeah.
That maybe that's why they're always near bodies of water, but the earth is 75% water.
Yeah, everything's near water.
Yeah.
People don't live near unless it's near water.
Pretty much.
Unless you're Las Vegas and you make your own water.
Right, and then why would all the sightings be in like Nevada and Utah and all these dry places?
I think it's the warnings.
It's the warnings.
You can't see it, you can't taste it.
Yeah. I mean,
but it'll blow out your bunghole.
But it'll blow out your bunghole. That works a little better than it'll bite you in the ass, or you're out of luck.
That's pretty much all I had.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward one. It's weird.
I think it may have something to do with this ley line situation.
Maybe
with them being in line on the 37.
That's his theory. Like I said, if you look at a map, they're all over.
Well, I mean, we're kind of finding that with ley lines. There's a bunch of different ways
to line it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, there might be highways and there might be country roads.
Right. The thing that gets me though is like, there's pictures of.
Because weren't you saying that in China or something they build mounds on top of ley lines to divert the energy?
Yeah, because they don't want it to keep going.
This energy is just running right into these cows and burning out their bum holes.
Oh, that's what's going on. It's like
blowing out an eye socket.
Yeah, it's just weird that there's proof. It's tangible proof.
There's something weird going on.
It's not like just, these are just pictures of cow. Like, no, like news places have been there with their cameras. Mm-hmm. Like, something is going on. It's just. And
I'm sure, that Chuck Sikowski was a former police officer. I also heard him talk to this Lou Garoto.
Yeah.
He is an ex-sheriff. And one night, I don't know if this was related to a mutilation, but he got a call out somewhere, and he saw a bright orange ball of light, and it elevated off the ground and then split into two balls of the same size. Like the one ball was, so big, and these other two balls were also the same size. So it didn't like break in half and get two smaller pieces.
Yeah.
It was like they were both the same size. And then they both just kind of took off in different directions. And so it's like interesting that these two men of the law got kind of wound up in something like that.
And that's always the thing too, because these like weirdo investigators, they go look at it and they're like, oh, have you ever seen any of these like weird stuff at night? There's always at least one or two people that are like, yeah, I've lived here this long. I've seen some weird crap over this mountain. Like,
yeah.
And according to Linda Moulton Howe, when she was first sent out, like back in the 70s, to investigate these cattle mutilations, she ran into Sheriff Harry L. Tex Graves. He was Tex Graves. And she's like, oh...
That's a good name. Tex Graves.
Yeah. He's like... She was like, so what do you think's going on here? And he's like, it's aliens. Like, this is aliens. Just told her right away. She's like, it's so weird that it has to be, like, aliens.
Unworldly.
Yeah, and any of the, like, news reports from different news channels, when they're interviewing them, they're like, it's so weird. And they're like, I mean, you can't rule out that it's not aliens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They're like, but I've never seen anything. And these are like 30-year ranchers, like people that have seen everything.
Yeah. And I mean, all the logical stuff, it sounds like they're ruling out.
Yeah.
They aren't sick, generally, it seems.
Right.
And I mean, we were talking about, we'll post a video in the Facebook page of an animal eating another animal.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, it's not going to look like this.
No, it's not.
But we'll see.
I don't know. It's crazy. Did you read that link or look at that link that I sent you last week?
No.
Oh. It's about black helicopters.
Oh, okay.
But the whole cattle mutilation thing is that they're actually sentient beings, and that
The cows?
The helicopters.
The helicopters.
And they shoot like a crystal into the cow and then it's like an alien where it grows inside the cow and then it bursts out in these weird like butt exploding like things. Yeah. And then they fly around. I don't know.
Oh,
it was some kind of weird shit like that.
Check that out.
That's all I got.
That's all I had. It was super interesting that they all seem so similar and happening so often and all over the place, and it's just unexplainable.
Yeah, and it's so weird that like governments don't even, they're like, yeah, we got nothing for you.
Yeah. And which makes me wonder, like I don't feel like the government would accept that. Like all the work we went into after 9/11 or something, you know what I mean? And I guess these are just cows and they're not people.
Right. It's been happening since the 70s.
Yeah. But like to have something so unexplainable happening and the government doesn't say anything about it.
Right.
I would think that they know more than they're telling us. Either way, whatever it is.
Right. But then again, it's also like for every one story you hear, there's probably 6 farmers or ranchers that just go
muddy up the waters,
or they're just like, oh, another one's dead, and just like get their bulldozer out or whatever they do with them. You know, they just take care of it. They're not like, oh, this is weird. They're just like, well, whatever.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we will be back in another week.
Yeah,
make sure you check out the One Night Standards. That's thank you to them for our intro, outro.
Yes,
and check out Shop Abernathy's. They're kind of a sponsor, but we just don't get paid.
Well, that's where our stickers are.
Yeah, they ship them out for us. They do all the fucking rube work.
Yeah,
and hope you found it interesting, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, have a good one. And remember, always have pizza for people, even if they don't want it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Be good to
Always have
yourself.
enough pizza for everybody, even if they don't want it.
Yes. Be good to yourselves, guys.
Let's see ya.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Welcome back to the lounge.
We're doing that again, Dave. You son of a bitch. Coughed right when I was talking.